This is the Sonic Crypto one-year overview rating for the year of 2025. It's currently November 19th, 2024, 7:28 p.m. Eastern Time. Sonic Crypto at the time of this reading, 0.05464, and that's USD. I also added to the reading the logo because there's several Sonics just to avoid any confusion. The shuffle file for the Sonic reading was created on August 4th, 2024 at 7:41 p.m. Eastern Time. We got so backed up towards the end of the year. In this video, we're going to go over the overall theme and chart behavior for the year of 2025. We're going to look at behavior having to do with the year's highest high, chart behavior having to do with the year's lowest low. We're going to give you one of the best trades that we see. We'll go through the general chart behavior quarter by quarter. At the end of this video, we'll also show you how to get the total access version of this video, which includes the timing of the year's highest high and lowest low, as well as all of the best trades. Not to mention, it also gets you access to our live Discord trade alerts and live updated trading view charts. I highly recommend not trading unless you have those tools as well. Most of this stuff is accurate, but it's not as easy as knowing a high and a low. There's a lot of other intricacies to trading this information. So the best way to do it is just with the live Discord trade alerts and live updated trading view charts where we actually draw entry and exit ahead of time for you. I'll show you at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Now, the overall theme and behavior for the year of 2025, an unexpected move to the upside that'll stand out on a multi-year scale. It's hindered at least once with a notable decline down to and through a support to meet a second support. This is on the scale of a one-year chart scale. And at that second support, we should rotate sideways for a bit before breaking down through several more support levels. So that'll happen at least once in the year, hindering this unexpected move to the upside. But that decline also, what I'm sensing is that decline is going to offer significant multi-year opportunity, or multi-month at least opportunity, to open up a long position for a good long trade, which we'll look at towards the end of the video. Behavior around the highest high, we have sideways rotation, then a big move higher, and then more sideways rotation at a higher support level. So basically what we'll do is we should establish old resistance as new support at the highest high or highs for the year. The fact that that's the card for the high correlation might indicate that we see the same high more than once. We'll look at that in more detail as we progress. Behavior around the lowest low, we have a decline to and through support to meet a second support. This is again on a one-year chart scale, and then we rotate sideways along that second support level at the lows. Another card that would indicate possibly more than one low of the same price level. We'll look into it in more detail as we go. Now, I'm going to get into the quarter by quarter chart behavior, giving you the peaks and the troughs for each quarter. But before I do that, I want to make sure you're aware. The whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. And we do that by following through on the rule of karma, which is a threefold agreement between the universe and anybody utilizing this information for personal gain. There's nothing wrong with utilizing this for personal gain as long as you're simultaneously helping other people to use this. So let's make sure that we follow through on the rule of karma. And the way that we do that, we go to the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, click on resources, and then 5% of any profits from information in this channel should be donated forward to a charity. And you can utilize one of these links right here. It's super easy. Just click and donate. Or if you've got a charity you're choosing, that's cool too. Just make sure you pay it forward. That keeps the flow of abundance going through the universe, and it effectively transmutes competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. Imagine if everybody was doing that, how much better the world would be. And then 5% of the profit should be donated forward to the channel through one of these links. If you're international, you can use this app Wise. It's very reliable. Or you can use crypto. If you click on the crypto tab, you've got all of these different QR codes. You can donate in a bunch of different cryptos. Really great way to help out the channel. It's the right thing to do. It keeps it interesting, especially because I don't get to trade that often because it takes so much time just to do this information. So this keeps it interesting. It's a way to say thank you. All of that leaves you with 90%, way more than a stockbroker would leave you with. Make sure to spend that money out of love. That's the third fold of the threefold agreement, the rule of karma. As long as you follow those rules, the universe considers you an angel investor of the channel. It's going to send it back to you tenfold for following through. Blessings to all my angel investors. Let's get back into it. All right, so the chart behavior for Q1, we've got sideways rotation along a key support level on a one-year chart scale rolling into early January. There's a fast sudden move higher off of the January low, which actually there should be a notable decline into the low on a one-year chart scale, and then a fast sudden move higher out of it. Behavior around the later part of January, we have a resistance level on a one-year chart scale that's highlighted that we decline from, and then either return to it there in the end of January again, or we return to it maybe in February. Sometimes it's more than once, like you go like this back and forth, dropping from it. And so what the Ace of Swords really does is it offers a pretty reliable exit price level, or price range, I should say. Once you establish the Ace of Swords, when it's declining below that price level, you can open up a long and then eventually return back to roughly that price level, and you would exit at that time. We'll look at that in more detail. And then also be very careful around the January high. We've got the devil card indicating an intentional fake out or shake out, some sort of falsely triggered indicator, something that's intended to make us do the wrong thing. So be very, very careful near the top. My sense is that the high for January is probably towards the later part of January. Hard to say exactly. There's a peak in there, like on the cusp of January, February, and the rally takes us into early February, and then is halted by a decline through key support, again on a one-year chart scale. Decline into the February low, increases with momentum moving forward into the low. We have a pop and drop and a sideways fluctuating decline preceding a rally involved in the February high. Oh, and there's also at least one unexpected move to the upside in the later part of January. There's some possibility of a trough in here at the cusp. My sense is that's more having to do with August. I think probably what we've got here is like a peak in early February, maybe, or on the cusp of January, February. And important resistance levels highlighted in the later later part of February that we failed to break through many times before. It's highlighted there. Usually with the cruelty card, decline pretty notably from that resistance. Sometimes it's just like highlighted and we hang out there. The truce card for early March is indicating a rally into key resistance and then a decline back down, usually past the point at which the rally into the resistance started. There's sideways rotation near the March low that ends with a fast move higher. Behavior around the March high, we have a peak, a notable peak specifically, not a crest, a peak that we should sell off pretty notably. This is where we have one of those declines most likely commencing that hinders this move to the upside a bit, taking place starting off of the March high. Actually, there might be a crest there because we have a combination of the tower card and the completion card. So hard to say. It'll be a peak or a crest. Either way, it'll turn into a move to the downside. And in the later part of March, we have 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level. Usually the third cross is to the upside, confirming a bullish trend. We should see a peak towards the end of the month of March as well. And probably the March high is towards the end of March, if I didn't say that already. All right, so for Q2, we've got a peak in early April. There's a breakout there. I'm advised to be cautious because we've got the prudence card there near that peak. And usually with the prudence card, you'll see like some sort of indecisive sideways behavior that's a little tricky. Either that or it's like whipsaws of some kind, or, again, an indicator makes us think something other than what's happening. So just be very careful near that high. There is a breakout there. Ace of discs at the high, indicating a pretty good trade opportunity, which I'll talk about in the total access version of this video. And it should get pretty net mixed near the April high, where we should have a lot of price change involved in an important support level on a multi-year scale near the high. There's also should be a pop and drop in there near the high, like a mixed kind of sideways S sort of formation. Oh, and then the April high is also within close time proximity to a prominent trough on a 1-year chart scale. Sideways fluidity, equal amounts of bulls and bear inflow and outflow in the later part of April, and there's a sharp decline. This is probably like a crypto market wide kind of decline that takes place into the April low, out of which there's another breakout into a peak probably somewhere around the end of the 3rd week or the beginning of the 4th week, a breakout into another peak on the cusp of April, May, and then a sharp drop from that peak. A lot of price change there again. In early May. It may be that we're seeing the same price level as the April high. It's hard to say at this time, but there should be a lot of price change and an important support level highlighted on a multi-year scale there in the early part of May. We also have prominent trough on a 1-year chart scale taking place there. We have price swings near the May high. Usually that'll indicate we see the high more than once. Sometimes it's like it's once, but it's like a revisiting of a high that just happened like in a previous month or is going to happen in the next month, something like that. So look out for that price level to be met twice. And then the later part of May, we've got a crest, a near overall crest that we sell off through multiple support levels, an important support level on a multi-year scale highlighted at the May low. We've got a rally in early June into a failed attempt to break through key resistance. It's like a rally increasing with momentum moving forward in time, and then like this unexpected move to the upside into failed attempt to break through key resistance on a 1-year chart scale, probably in the earlier part of June. That failed attempt then becomes a decline through key support. The decline likely takes us into 3rd week of June roughly, and then the decline into the June low ends with a fast sudden move higher, an unexpected fast sudden move higher on a 1-year chart scale, and then there's a peak on the cusp of June, July again. Now, if we do have a peak on the cusp of June, July, I would say expect a notable decline really early off that peak into July. Out of that decline, we should have a big move to the upside. There's a significant opportunity there. Big move from the upside, from the bottom of the range all the way to the top of the range. The July high is met when we have a notable move on a 1-year chart scale to the upside, reaching for a distant resistance, i.e. not the next critical resistance, but at least one after that. Huge move. The last card's one of the biggest bullish moves in the deck. Behavior around the July low. We have a resistance level near the July low that we should decline from and return to at least once within July. There's also another unexpected move to the upside out of the July low, at least one, and we have a rally along a diagonal trend line in the later part of July, breaking through horizontal resistance and meet a second resistance, and then pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels. A full card opportunity at a peak in early August with an unexpected move to the upside into a peak in early August, followed by another hindering multi-support level decline that takes place off of that peak either in the end of the 1st week or maybe somewhere between the 2nd and 3rd week, somewhere around the 2nd week, give or take like half a week. We should have that decline commence, and that'll take us into a pretty prominent trough on a 1-year chart scale. The August low is the revisiting of a previous opportunity that we recently met, and we rotate sideways along support with a sharp drop that stands out in that period of support. But it probably turns into a move to the upside in the later part of August. There's like a pop and a drop in August, in the later part of August, and then that's followed by the science card in early September, which the science card indicating an important technical price level on a multi-year scale highlighted in the early part of September. We should have an unexpected move to the upside into that price level, and then near the September high, we should have bumping along resistance sideways, probably break through at least once and bump along resistance sideways some more. Could be multiple times. Behavior around the September low. We're bound by a range on at least a 1-year chart scale there below, and again, there's probably a move out of the low to the upside pretty notably. We have a prominent peak on a 1-year chart scale in the later part of September. Notable reversal in October. Either that or we have multiple reversals back and forth taking place in early October. My sense is it's probably a notable reversal there. We have a pretty big move to the upside into this October high, at which point we should have a decline through multiple support levels. It looks like sort of hard. It's a bit difficult to determine where the October high is based on information I have to work with here, but what I would say is there's a lot of volatility near the October low. Another unexpected move to the upside will really stand out on a 1-year chart scale out of the October low. The later part of October, we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance that we are expecting to break through based on technical, for whatever reason we don't. Instead, we turn around and we decline through key support. And a brief peak that's easily missed in early November, followed by a decline through multiple support levels. We attempt to establish support near the November low with sideways rotation, breakout on a 1-year chart scale taking place in the later part of November, and we successfully turned resistance into new support at the November high. November high is also within close time proximity to a prominent trough on a 1-year chart scale. We have a peak towards the first week of December. It forms with like a pop and then like a equal drop, like a full retracement back down. We have multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance at the December high. We are revisiting an important support level on a 1-year chart scale at the December low, and the December low is also within close time proximity to a prominent peak on a 1-year chart scale. We have a decline in the later part of December through multiple support levels, and then the sneak preview for 2026 is a sideways fluctuating rally that precedes a decline. I'm seeing a near overbought crest that we saw off from through multiple support levels, and a universal hexagram indicating a significant drop. We may actually see a newer, like a higher price level in 2026 before the drop. It's hard to say, but my vague sense is that that's what will take place. Is we'll see a higher price level in 26 than we have here in 2025, and then we'll decline pretty notably from that. That'll be like a sharp drop on a multi-year scale. Now, normally at this point, I'll get into a review of the previous reading, but this is the first reading that we're actually doing for Sonic. So rather than do that, we're just going to move right into one of the best trades that I see for the year of 2025. And then at the end of this, I'll show you guys how to get the total access version of this video, which gives you the timing of the highest high, the lowest low, to all of the best trades that we see for the year, as well as the Discord live trade alerts and live updated trading view chart where we draw those entry and exit points ahead of time. Doesn't get much easier than that, guys. You know, if you're serious about taking your SO meta trading to the next level, then it's really something that's essential for that next step up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the timing of the entry, the timing of the exit, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of the chart behavior to look for leading into the entry point. It's important that if you insist on trading this information without Discord trade alerts or live updated trading view charts, that you understand if this chart behavior does not transpire as expected leading into the entry, you should avoid this trade. They're not always going to be right. We're usually right. This is one of the ways that you could determine, you know, that it's a trade you want to avoid. I highly recommend not even bothering with that. Just go for the Discord trade alerts, my friends, because it's like a game changer. The entry for this is going to be mid-April. Oh, and the exit is going to be like on the cusp of April, May. All right, so what we're looking for, and remember, guys, these 1-year readings, you have to give them sometimes as much as a month. I consider that a really bad reading. If you have to give it plus or minus a month of wiggle room on the timing, it happens occasionally, so look out. More frequently, it'll be 2 weeks wiggle room. That's much more frequent. Those are acceptable. Often, there's no wiggle room needed. So you have to be mindful that sometimes you need to be paying attention to the sequence of events over the timing, because the sequence of events keeps you on track, right? So what we're looking for as far as sequence of events, somewhere around the end of March, there should be a peak, likely to be like a highest high thus far or close in the latest, maybe the last week of March, within a period of crisscrossing back and forth 3 times through the same price level, rallying into some sort of tricky behavior in April. In April, we'll have a breakout there, probably in the first or second week, that takes us to a highest high thus far for the year. And that breakout's kind of like your signal to get poised. We should then decline pretty significantly on a 1-year chart scale into a prominent trough on a 1-year chart scale, maybe in the third or the end of the third week of April. And then from that point, likely you're going to see some sideways rotation or sideways fluidity near that trough. And from that trough, you'll want to open up a long, that's the entry. You'll want to open up a long position because we have another breakout there. And it looks like it probably takes us back to where the earlier high in April was, almost. Not quite, but pretty close. You don't want to wait for it to hit the same high, because off of that peak at the exit right here on the cusp of April, May, there's a sharp drop off of that peak. So you want to get out quickly. So what you're looking for is a breakout to a 1-year highest high thus far in April, and then a sharp drop into a prominent trough on a 1-year chart scale. At the trough, enter into a long. We should have a notable move back to the upside and a peak that you sell off from when we're near the same price level when on the cusp of April, May, we reach near the same price level as the high that we formed in April, in the earlier part of April. Okay, so that's one trade. The remainders of those guys are part of what you get in the total access, as well as those other services that really, the game-changing services I spoke about. You want the high and the low and all that, that's also in there. So the way that you get that, there's a couple ways that you can get the total access version of this video. You can just go for the custom version of this video, which you go to our website, Terra for Traders, which possibly by the time you're watching this video, it might be stockmarketpsychic.com. We'll see. We're thinking about changing it to that. But either way, you go to order now, you click on custom readings. Now this one's actually been done, so you should be able to, when you go click here on 1-year report, you should be able to order it. If it's not in the list, you could put in the notes somewhere. If it's been done, you can do it for $400, right? If it's a custom reading we haven't done before, then it's a $500. If you're lucky enough to see this before Black Friday, guys, these prices are going to be like slashed in half. However, they're going to be for 2026. All right, and then the other way that you can get access to the total access version of this video is to go to subscriptions, and you click on total access. This gets you access to everything on our channel, everything, all of the 1-years, pay versions of the 1-years, the Discord trade alerts, every single channel, all of the live updated trading view chart links, all of that, as well as everything that's in the monthly access and the early access, all covered by total access. This is normally $500 a month, $5,000 a year. It's our premium service. If you're lucky enough to get this at Black Friday, it's going to be $350, guys. That's for the lifetime of your subscription. This is for new subscribers. So with that said, good luck, and thank you to those of you that go ahead and do that. It really helps out the channel. Much love and appreciate to everybody watching. If you like this stuff, please subscribe. And most importantly, make sure to follow that rule of karma, my friends. That's the whole purpose of the channel. So with that said, guys, blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one.